like all of these organizations in some way impact my life to lesser or smaller degrees. Yeah, that's one of my projects. Like us being us, but like not related to the show, shit like that. It's just like, this is what we were talking about before the show started, or like afterwards.
Yeah. I can barely see you. There you are.
Hey, Orange Hats.
How does it feel to be in these plush accommodations at Joe's Pub?
This is either the swankiest cafe I've ever been in, or it's the last days of Caligula. I feel decadent.
Ask Rebecca at the end of the night.
I just saw Young Gene Lee's We're Gonna Die.
We're gonna die.
We're gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
We're gonna die.
We're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna die.
A one-woman performance piece with a bunch of musicians coming together, working with her.
A true woman, a true story, and true feeling.
It reminds me of why I like to live in New York. I like to see a woman on stage who can be honest.
She is great, and it was great to hear her sing. And the music is great, the band is great, and the stories are amazing and funny and touching.
I thought it was beautiful, it was hilarious, and it was very heartfelt. It was wonderful.
We loved it.
Yeah, we loved it.
It was a funny, kind of comical take on life's tragedy.
I thought it was absolutely one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen on the stage. She touched me profoundly, both as an artist and interpreter, as a musician.
Oh, I was blown away. I was really moved by it, very much. In fact, I was hoping to get a chance. I may even come back tomorrow night. I'd like to.
What brought you to the theater tonight?
Young Gene Lee. I'm a big fan.
We were just looking at something to do on a Monday night. We saw this, and we read the description. It seemed really intriguing. The candidness of the topic and the approach to it seemed really engaging.
I get an email from Joe's Pub. Hadn't been aware of this work or anything like that, but when I read about it, it just intrigued me. So I'm not sure what. I liked the name of the band, Future Wife. That sounded cool. I didn't know quite what to expect, except I just, whatever I read in that email that I clicked on that brought me to the thing about this production.
Yeah.
It just sounded cool to me. I'll get it after.
I have friends who live in New York, and I have already read on Village Voice and in some other magazines about this show, and I want to see.
Actually, we saw it in Time Out magazine. We're here on holiday, so we just saw it in the magazine, and yeah.
How long are you here
very
for?
improvised thing.
A week.
A friend of mine actually had tickets that she couldn't use, and she gave them to me, but I'm really glad she did because I really enjoyed the show. I got it recommended from my boss in Norway, who's an artistic director at a theater there. She recommended this play.
What's memorable about it that when you look back you'll remember?
How honest it was, and how, you know, the range of emotion, just like life, I guess. And I guess maybe that was sort of the point. How alive it was, yet it was about death and fate confronting sort of terrible things. I really dug it on a lot of levels.
I think the bizarre way of having a laugh at the fact that we're all actually going to die is going to stick with me.
Yeah.
It was a fun way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Well, I was just telling my friend that the last song's in my head now, so that's gonna be stay with me for the next probably couple of days. But I really enjoyed, you know, the stories and how articulate the playwright lead character was.
Yeah, I thought it was thoughtful and kind, and I was glad that like she left us dancing.
I really appreciated the stories that she told. I think they're really touching, they're really beautiful, and it made you feel not as alone, right? Because, I mean, the idea of everyone singing together, we're gonna die, is actually quite comforting and nice, so.
It's important to kind of, like she says, that you aren't alone in this, you aren't special, and
That you can't be immune to these sort
tragedy,
of things.
and then you should look at it in on a happy note instead.
We've been through some similar things that she's been through, so
good therapy for her and good therapy for us. Yeah.
They spoke about the father situation. I have a similar experience in my life, so for me this is not the most important part. It's move. I am moved, but it's not important. The song, the final song, it's very important because we are gonna die.
Her sincerity, her ability to emote and speak so heartfully to an audience, so publicly, absolutely floored me.
I expected that kind of honesty from her.
It was very simple and not contrived at all, and so that apparently makes that risky, which is surprising to me. Like, why would that be risky?
And it didn't for a moment seem false. It didn't for a moment seem untrue.
The other thing that I was thinking about was that it's very redeeming that it is recognized as being special, even though it's so simple and it is risky. Like, that is redeeming to me, that people are on the right track.
This is very special for me because in Italy, everywhere they acting too much. So this it's very, very interesting piece.
It's great to do work that's, or get to see work that's really honest and truthful, even while it's entertaining and funny and like at a cool place like Joe's Pub. She's that much more my hero.
It was one of those rare instances where she was who she was, and yet her artistic capacity brought everything together.
She's a funny, smart person, but she also kind of will lay down that truth to you in a way that you kind of can't rationalize away.
It deserves an audience far wider than the public theater. No question of that. This deserves an international audience.
Any final thoughts?
You're gonna die. That's about it. Thanks.
This will never go into a More Chance video.